Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me. Very much appreciate that. And drop your comments. Love the comments. Well, the New York Knicks just kicked off their first game of the West Coast road trip against Sacramento Kings. And it did not look good at first, and then it started looking a little better, and then it didn't end well. I'm going to get into it. It's disappointing, but this is what happens. This is what happens when you come off a 9-game win streak and several overtimes involved, including a double overtime, and you are still, Jalen Brunson did make it back for this game, but he had to leave at halftime because of his sore left foot, the foot that had been bothering him, which also brings into question maybe he should not have started at all. Why they're pushing the players to play while hurt right now in this key period when we need players to, the playoffs are less than 2 months away. Exactly about a month and a half away. Why right now risk a further injury? And I hope nothing is, lasting here. It's just more soreness. It's what happens with your feet. Sometimes, a bruise or a sprain or something. I'm not sure exactly what the actual injury is. They haven't told us. But, I see the desire to play him, to push him a little bit, and his desire, he wants to be out there. But at the end of the day, even though he played great, Jalen Brunson, in 19 minutes, he scored 19 points for the Knicks. Shot 6 of 12, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. He was the only one who shot efficiently from the free throw line. Josh Hart hit both of his free throw attempts. But Brunson, just was looking spectacular until he re-injured his foot. So it's disappointing, but let's get to it. Here we go. The Sacramento Kings held off the Knicks to win 122-117. And this was a game, like I said before, the Knicks were once down by 21 points in the first half, actually. And somehow that third quarter, the New York Knicks managed to battle and make this a contest. And I was very impressed by that third quarter effort. The Knicks outscored the Sacramento Kings 31-22 in the third quarter, and we even outscored them in the fourth quarter as well, 33-31. We allowed them to score 31 points. And this is a night when the Knicks needed to be firing on all cylinders to beat a team that's now, I think, has the second best record in the West at the moment. De'Aaron Fox is just a blur. And he hurt us tonight several times. He actually, once the Knicks tied the game at 96 all, he proceeded to rattle off 7 straight points to give them a cushion. But the Knicks kept getting back in it. At one point, we were only down 2 late in that fourth quarter. And I wish that the Knicks had been able to, we were down. We were down 2 at the 40 with only 47 and a half seconds left in the game. Randall hit a running layup, and we were down 115-113. But then De'Aaron Fox comes down, gets his layup, and then Julius gets a turnover, and then he commits a foul, and Trey Lyles hits both of his free throws. And at that point, the game was looking like it was pretty much out of hand. They were up 119-113 with 21 seconds left. RJ hit a driving layup to cut it to 4. But then De'Aaron Fox once again picked up a foul on him. And De'Aaron Fox hit his free throw, got it to 121-15. And that was pretty much all she wrote, because RJ was able to hit a driving layup, but at that point it was only 6 seconds left. There were no timeouts left, and that's why the score ended up the way it did. But turnovers were the killer. In that fourth quarter. I believe the Knicks committed 5, if not 6 turnovers in that fourth quarter. And even though Josh Hart, let's get to the stats here. Josh Hart was tremendous coming off the bench, was a spark plug both times in both halves. He played 32 minutes, 3 of 4 overall, hit his 1 3-point attempt. I wish he had taken more 3-point attempts. I feel like he passed up on several. And this is going to be a problem because when the offense is, we have an offense that's structured for teams, for players to take open 3-point attempts. And when you pass them up, you're driving into traffic and you're creating other issues, because then that means that the offense has to once again work hard to get another open look, or you have to beat your man to the hoop. And if you're not beating your man to the hoop, then you're going to make a desperado pass out of the paint there or during the drive, or commit a turnover, which Josh Hart did. He committed 3 turnovers in this game, and he committed some kind of late in the game, which hurt us. But the man was unbelievable on the offensive glass. He finished with 15 rebounds overall, which is incredible, and he had so many tips and stuff. He was keeping the second chance points were the reason why the Knicks were even in this game. The Knicks shot terribly. We shot 13 of 50 from the 3-point line, 26%. We shot 42 out of 101 field goal attempts. This is in a regulation game. We got 101 field goal attempts. That shows you how much of a hustling there was on the offensive end to get those second chance points, but we just weren't hitting them. At one point in that fourth quarter, I believe the Knicks got 4 offensive rebounds and no points. They were all 4 3-point attempts. None of them went down. Knicks shot 41.6% overall. The high score was for the Knicks was R.J. Barrett, but I wouldn't say this was a good game for him. It was not. He shot 9 of 23. He needed 23 shot attempts to give you 25 points, and Randall needed 22 shot attempts to give you 23 points. So very inefficient game for the 2 big guys there for the Knicks, and also a rare, really poor offensive game for Emmanuel Quickley. The first one in quite a while. He played 27 minutes, only hit 1 3-point shot, and it was late in the fourth quarter. It was a big one. It was a big 3-point shot when he hit it. Let's see. He hit it with, where was it here? It was pretty impressive. And Grimes actually had a very good game for himself. He started off a little slow. Oh, with a minute and 54 seconds left, Quickly hit his first bucket of the game to get the score to 109, to cut the lead down to 6 with about a little under 2 minutes left. And we were still right in there. Like I said, we cut it down to just a 2-point lead with 47 seconds left. But Quickly, 1 of 11, 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. Not even the floater game was there. And I feel like he bailed on a lot of 3-point attempts that he could have had. Even though he did take 8 attempts, I feel like he also bailed on shot attempts. And, I guess it makes sense. When you're not hitting it, you're not feeling it. You try to look for some other option. 2 rebounds for him, 5 assists. But Josh Hart's stat line is pretty impressive. 9 points, 7 assists, and 15 rebounds on 75% shooting. Outstanding. Now, Quentin Grimes, 19 points for him, 4 of 10 from the 3-point line. We needed that. It was one of the key reasons why we were able to get back in this game. And he shot 7 of 13 overall. Very nice game from Quentin Grimes. We needed that because he'd been a little, other than that one game when he was just lights out, he has not really shined on the offensive end as he could. He shot 53.8% today overall. Mitch Robinson got into some foul trouble early, and it plagued him throughout the rest of the game. And once he came out in that fourth quarter, I think it was early. I think maybe it was at the beginning of the fourth quarter. He did not return back into the game, and Isaiah Hartenstein closed it out. Isaiah played even more minutes than Mitch tonight. Isaiah played almost 25 minutes, and Mitch played about 19. Isaiah Hartenstein, he got 9 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. The Knicks got 23 offensive rebounds tonight. Outstanding, where the Kings only got 6 offensive rebounds. The Kings only put up 84 shot attempts. The Knicks put up 101 shot attempts. We put up an additional 17 shot attempts than the Kings, but just whiffed on them. It's disappointing. Randall, this is probably one of his worst games of the season, despite the counting stats. to 23 and 10 and 5 assists. But when you look at the three-point shot, wasn't there for him. 2 of 12 for Julius Randle. 8 of 22 overall. Just not a good. When you look at that, he was 6 of 10 from inside the arc. So he probably should have been looking for more there. Try to feed a little more there. But man, it's a bummer because I wanted us to get off to a good start here. One of the bright spots, even though Obi did finish 1 of 5 from the three-point line, I felt the minutes he gave us in that fourth quarter with that second unit were instrumental, and it actually catapulted the Knicks to get back in this game. Well, the Knicks were already chipping away in that third quarter because they won that third quarter, and in the beginning part of that fourth quarter, they sustained that momentum and were able to get the lead down to about 4, and then finally they tied it at 96 all. It's hard to question the desire to bring Julius back in at that point because you don't have Brunson. So it's like midway through the fourth quarter, the team has been able to tie the score, but then they allowed De'Aaron Fox to rattle off 7 straight points, and you think, okay, maybe we'll bring Randle back in, and this might regain the momentum. I would have kept Obi on the court. I'm saying it once again. I would have kept Obi on the court. I know Hartenstein gave us a tremendous effort on the defensive end, especially in the offensive boards. But Obi, he helps to space the floor better, gives more room for the other guys to work in, and that's something that just Hartenstein doesn't give us right now because he hasn't even taken a three-point shot. I don't think he's taken a three-point shot in weeks. So he's not that stretch 5 anymore. And this is the kind of game where you needed that floor spacing because the Kings were swarming. They were swarming on us. So it would have been nice to have tried that again. I don't know how many times I'm going to keep saying it. I guess it's hard to for Thibs to kind of go against what's been working for him and for the whole team. But I really do think that that's an untapped resource. Having Obi out there with Julius, let them figure it out, give them some time. He's been doing it all season long. These are the kind of games where that would be paying off now, especially in the previous game as well against the Hornets. So this is the type of stuff that happens with a Tom Thibodeau team. The pluses and the minuses. These are the minuses. The pluses are that the Knicks are still in 5th place. And we're still by far one of the best teams in the NBA, and they showed it tonight. Even when they didn't play well, they took the number 2 team in the West Coast to the very end. They made them sweat. So shout out to them for doing that. They were able to disrupt the Kings, who got off to a super hot start. The Kings shot 61.2% in the first half. And they finally finished at 52.4%, so you can see they cooled off tremendously. They only shot 31.3% from the three-point line, 10 of 32. Monk was, I believe, was a non-factor in the second half, but he was very much a factor in that first half. He definitely hurt the Knicks then. Kevin Huerter always seems to pick up a big shot here and there on the Knicks, and he did late in that fourth quarter. He had a tip-in. A tip-in that really killed our momentum. It's one of those things, when you're down by 21, and then your starting point guard, your should have been an all-star starting point guard who has his first game back. He's playing great, and then he has to leave the game. It creates a lot of holes in the way you're approaching the game plan itself. But all that said, I thought the Knicks did a pretty good job of refocusing themselves. Especially on that defensive end. They were able to finally get some stops, string several stops together, especially that second unit in that fourth quarter, but the third quarter as well. The team did a really nice job with that. So, but in the end, not nice enough. In the end, the Knicks, they come away with a loss, which is very disappointing. Now we're 39-29, 10 games over 500, and Sacramento Kings are 39-26. So both teams at the same amount of wins. We have 3 more losses. I don't know why we've played 3 more games than the Sacramento Kings. I don't understand the way the scheduling is in the NBA. And it's annoying to me. Because even when you think about, even in this case, that means we've played 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. That's like 130-something more minutes that our team has played than Sacramento. And we had to travel there. You know, and that's not even counting the overtime games. We played a lot of overtime games. So this scheduling that the NBA is doing it sucks. I don't understand why it's like this. This is such a big disparity. It should not be this big, where there's a 3-game gap. That's a lot. That is a lot in the NBA. It's not one game, or maybe 2 games. You're like, okay, 3 games, that's a lot. Yeah, maybe I'm nitpicking about some bullshit, but I do think it matters in the end. The plus minus, as you can see, Isaiah Hartenstein, which is why he was out there in that fourth quarter and Mitch was not, because he was the top guy in the plus-minus column. He was a plus 11, and it showed. And same with McBride. Deuce, look, he didn't even score a point, and he was a plus 8. He also was part of that unit in the fourth quarter that got the Knicks. Actually, they gave the Knicks the momentum to finally tie the game, because several times they were chipping away, and then Sacramento would make a little bit of a run, and the lead would go back up to 10. But in this case, finally, the Knicks got it down to about 5, and then they tied it 96 all. But something happened at 96 all, and I want to get into that. Something happened at 96 all. The ball ended up in De'Aaron Fox's hands on the left above the break, behind the arc, and RJ watched De'Aaron Fox gather himself and shoot over him, and then RJ put his hand up after the shot was already releasing from De'Aaron Fox's hands. That's the kind of stuff that just can't happen if you want to be a winning team. I mean, what is it that you're waiting for at that moment? You think he's going to blow past? So who cares? Let him blow past you. It's a 2-pointer. 3-point shots in the fourth quarter are death. They're death. And you let him have a look. And then that got him going. Because then when he hit that shot, then he just blew past the next. I think they put hard on him the next time. And then finally, Thibs brought Quickly back in the game, and Quickly was able to keep up with De'Aaron Fox a little bit, but not as well as Deuce. Those are the kind of things, those little edges of matchups that I feel like in the playoffs, that's the kind of stuff that we're going to have to be sharper with. I don't want to get super negative about all this stuff, but those little edges matter tremendously. And having RJ guarding De'Aaron Fox on the 3-point line is a mistake. It's a mistake, especially in the fourth quarter. Now, all that said, it's still on RJ. Just put your fucking hands up, man. What's the big fucking deal? Put your hands up to disrupt the shot. I don't get it. Not stand there watching, and then you go, and then your hand doesn't even get up that high. What is that? It's infuriating, man. It's infuriating. Especially when you all this talk about you want to be a top defender in the game. Well, how about you do the basic shit first? Yeah. The Kings, as you can see, all 5 starters finished in double figures, and Trey Lyles also had a game that hurt us a lot. His length, he only hit 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, but he definitely was a problem for us to deal with. 4 of 7 in 25 minutes, 16 points. He went to the free throw line a lot. Let's see, how many times did he go to the free throw line? He went 7 times to the free throw line. Wow. And the Knicks, of course, we shot like shit from the 3-point line. We hit 20 of 31, 64.5%. The Kings shot 75% from the free throw line. Look at that right there. If we shoot the same as the Kings, this game is a whole different story. So we're back to the issues that have plagued us throughout the season in our losses, which is, bad, porous defense on the 3-point line, missing free throw attempts, and the Knicks actually, they only committed 13 turnovers, but 5 of those, and may have been even 6, were in the fourth quarter. So 13 is not atrocious, and the Kings only scored, they committed 12 turnovers. Let's see here. We got 8 steals. They got 10. We got 27 assists. Well, let's go to the. Well, you can see Sabonis. He had a nice game. 24 points. He ended up with a triple-double himself. 24 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 dimes for Domantas Sabonis. Who else? Murray. He had a decent game, but really didn't really impress me too much in the second half. Let's see here. As you can see here, the Kings ended up shooting 52.4% overall, and we crushed them on the boards. The assists were pretty much even. The turnovers were close, but look at the points off the turnovers. We allowed 21 points off turnovers. They only allowed 12, so that's a -9 for us. -9. Somehow the Knicks, who looked slow in that first half, crushed the Kings in the fast break points, 23-7. That seems like a mistake when I look at it. But then you look at the points in the paint, and they were killing us in the paint in the first half. But the Knicks finally were able to kind of stop the bleeding there. But we still ended up losing that battle. -4. It was 60 points in the paints for the Kings to 56 for the Knicks. Fouls, 25 fouls for us. We sent them to the free throw line way too many times. The refereeing, again, suspect. Just disappointed in the quality of the refereeing in the NBA this whole season. And once again, it came back to haunt us again tonight. All right. So that's what happened. Now, and I got to say, I'm still going to talk about the, still being tired. The guys even had to get on a plane, go out west. It's taxing. It's taxing mentally, emotionally, and physically. It just is. It takes a little bit of while to recover, and I think that's definitely what's happened with Emmanuel Quickly. Those 55 minutes he played. I think he played 40. What did he play? He played 44 minutes straight. 44 minutes straight against Boston on Sunday. That stuff, there is lasting negative impact on the body. And when your body's tired, your mind is tired. And I know this. I'm still tired from that game myself. I didn't even play. I was just watching, just emotionally wrapped up into it, and then doing the post game and all that stuff. And then, celebrated a little too hard. And then Monday, you got work and all this stuff. I still haven't recovered myself. So let's hope they get on that plane today. It's a short ride from Sacramento to LA. They're going to arrive in LA tonight. It's 10:30 p.m. here. So for them, it's later, but still, you recover in terms of the time change. They get into the hotel, they chill. Tomorrow they have a nice little shoot around. Don't get too crazy. Probably Brunson is not going to be available for the Saturday game against the Clippers, which is an early game, guys. It's an early game. It's a 1 p.m. start here in LA, so a 4 p.m. start in New York. So it's not like a full 2 days in between the games. But, actually, it might be raining. We'll see. But either way, the Knicks played the Clippers very well, and they were there. Did I see the game last year? Yeah, they played the Clippers well last year. They won the game here in LA. And we match up pretty well with them. Let's hope that finally, by another couple of days, and they get their routines going, that they finally are able to get back into the sharpness that they were experiencing during that 9-game win streak. That's the goal. Get back to that. But we need Quickly for that. I mean, if Brunson can't play, Quickly has to be the man again. And we need Randall too. Randall can't take 23 shot attempts to give us 23 points. That's just not going to cut it. 22 shot attempts to give us 23 points. He's got to be the man. He's got to give us, 38 points. This is how really good teams win. Their big guys come through when you need them, or one of the other guys steps up in a big. Tonight wasn't quite that. It looked like Grimes was going to become that guy in that fourth quarter, but then he missed that third. There was a third 3-point attempt that if he had nailed that, that really might have catapulted the Knicks over the top, but they weren't able to. Knicks never actually gained the lead in this game, if I recall. But let's hope. I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to be at the game on Saturday. Just reach out to me via Instagram or Twitter or whatever. If you guys are in town, anyone's in town and want to meet up at the game, might set up a little meetup before the game or maybe even afterwards. If it's a win, it'd be great to go celebrate somewhere. Just reach out. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I went too far. Thanks for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up here. Twitter right here. Hit the thumbs up button and drop your comments. And let's see if we can get back on a winning track on Saturday against the Clippers. All right, I will see you around the